Hi, salam sejahtera. Welcome to Virtual Venture Vocation channel. My name is Choi Han. Today I'm going to share with you one of the most popular tourist destination in Malaysia known as Batu Caves. Yeah. So if you reach this Batu Cave, it is actually to also understand the culture of the Indian people. Batu Caves is actually located about 13 kilometers away from Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, so it is slightly further away on the northern side. So as such, to reach this place is rather difficult. Not very difficult actually. Right, you can always take a train. Yeah, to the Batu Cave station by using the KTM station, or maybe you can always rent a car, Uber, Grab. Of course, in Malaysia we have Grab only now. Yeah, so you can always use the Grab to reach this Batu Caves, or maybe when you are traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Genting Highlands, one of the most popular hill vacation resort, the casino. So maybe you can just drop by to the Batu Caves. Now, this place was actually, at a very earlier stage, founded by William Temple Hornaday. He's a British, right? So one day when William Temple Hornaday was actually hunting, and suddenly he had a smell, a very awful smell, and due to his curiosity, so he is actually looking where is the sources of this smell, and finally he reached these Batu Caves and he founded these Batu Caves. So after founded these Batu Caves, and then of course word spread around, and the British started to have a picnic or having their leisurely time, usually at this Batu Caves area. And at a later stage, a very famous entrepreneur, or you can say that the philanthropist as well, Mr. Thaipusam Pillai, is a very famous Indian during the 19th century that time, all right? So he is actually the main person who founded the Sri Mahariamman Temple and also the Batu Caves, right? So this is the Batu Caves layout, which I got it from the Google Earth, right? I get a photo shoot out of it, and you can see that on the bottom part, that is the main entrance. And after walking about, say, 100 meters away, you find the Lord Murugan statue over there. And behind the Lord Murugan statue, you'll find the rainbow staircase. Yeah, it's colorful. And then while you are climbing the rainbow staircase, halfway through, you'll find the duck cave, and then on top of it is the Batu Caves. And then on the left-hand side, you'll find the Caves Villa. And you'll find also a green color statue, that is the Hanuman statue. And finally, right on the deeper inside, that is the Ramayana cave. And then that is the train station which I've mentioned. Yeah, if you don't have other means of transport, you can always take a train to Batu Caves from Kuala Lumpur. And then at the side of this train station, that is the Batu River, or we call it as Sungai Batu. Later, I will share with you why I do have to mention about Sungai Batu over here, right? Okay, now this is actually the whole Batu Caves has 4 caves. Yeah, 4 caves. The first cave is known as the Temple Cave, and then we have the Duck Cave, as mentioned. Well, you climb the staircase halfway through, that is where the Duck Cave, and then we have the Villa Cave, and finally the Ramayana Cave. All right. So the question is, out of these 4 caves, which are the caves well worth to visit? Yeah, well worth to visit. Okay, later I will share with you. Okay, the first cave here I will share is the Villa Cave. Yeah, so the Villa Cave is actually about the life story of Lord Murugan. Yeah, from can say that it is from his childhood right up to his marriage, and then until where he basically flew to caves and resides in caves, and that's the reason why basically you find Murugan's temples usually are located in hilly areas or caves. So later on, I will share with you as well why Murugan's temple are usually located on top of hills or in the caves. Okay, and then the second one is the Ramayana cave. Yeah, Ramayana cave actually, of course, in the Indian epics. Yeah, in the Indian epics, two epics which are the most popular. One is Ramayana, and the second is the Mahabharata. So the nearby cave that is known as Ramayana, basically inside this cave, or you will see a lot of these statues carved according to the story as you found in Ramayana story, and you'll see the Hanuman as well. And then the third cave is the Duck Cave. Now, the Duck Cave can be said as the one of the popular cave as well, yeah, because it is home to an ancient animal community of over 100 million old, yeah, 100 million years old. Can you just imagine that? That's the reason why this is the most researched tropical cave in the world. Yeah, so many scientists, they go to this cave, yeah, to do research on the animals. Why? This because this is the home to the rarest spider in the world, known as the trapdoor spider. Now, the golden question, as mentioned just now, there are so many caves. So which caves are the most well worth to visit actually? Yeah, so the answer is actually the temple cave. Yeah, so in order for you to reach the temple cave, of course, all right, you need to climb the staircase. The staircase in the year of 2018, yeah, it has been painted into colorful, so that's why it's known as the rainbow stairs. So for the staircase, there are actually 272 steps altogether. So while you are climbing the staircase, okay, please take note, there are a few things that you need to be very careful of. The first one, of course, if you are not healthy, I will of course not advise you to climb the staircase. Reason is because it's rather tiring to climb up the staircase, 272 stairs. Then, of course, yeah, for those who have this height phobia, yeah, now please be careful as well. If possible, don't climb. Reason is because climbing up is not a problem, but while you climb down, yeah, you might have this height phobia. Reason is because the staircase is rather steep, so when you're climbing down, you're looking in front, you might be afraid of the height. That's the reason. I don't encourage you on that if you have the height phobia. Then, of course, the monkeys. You will find a lot of those wild monkeys, yeah, the macaques, basically everywhere in Batu Caves, right? So you can see that these monkeys are everywhere. So that's the reason why please do not feed the monkeys. Yeah, please remember. Why do not feed these monkeys? Of course, these monkeys, yeah, sometimes they might attack us on human. Yeah, they might attack us, okay? And then, of course, other than attack, they also snatch. They snatch handbags, they snatch basically anything that you carry because they are hunting for food. So that's the reason why you have to be very careful with the monkeys. And besides that, if you intend to climb up the staircase to reach to the temple cave, please take note on your clothing, your attire as well, right? As for the male, they will require you to at least have a sleeve shirt, and then of course long pants, And as for the female, of course, again, sleeve dress and also a long skirt which is below your knee. Okay. Now, for those who do not have proper attire, who are already in the Batu Caves area, now it's okay. You can still climb up the staircase, and upon reaching at the mouth of the cave, yeah, actually they do rent to you those attire, a kind of cloth to wrap up your a robe actually to wrap up your body, so to cover up your body. So it's okay if you are without proper attire actually. Yeah. So besides this, you will see this Lord Murugan statue right in front, or basically in the Batu Caves area. Yeah. This statue was actually built in the year 2006, and it is at a height of 42.7 meter tall. Right. So the whole statue is actually painted in golden color, and this statue is actually can be said the second tallest Hindu worshippers statue in the world. Second tallest. Okay. Now, how do we recognize that is the Lord Murugan? Yeah. So usually we recognize Lord Murugan through the veil. Actually, if you look at the left hand side, there's holding like a spear. That is the veil. And then for the Lord Murugan temple, mostly you can find in hills or in caves. So I'm going to share with you this story known as the wisdom fruit story. And through this wisdom fruit story, or basically we call it as the mango story, you will understand on why, the reasons on why Lord Murugan's temples are usually found on the hilltop or at the Batu Caves. Yeah. So to understand this story, of course, first of all, you have to understand Lord Murugan's family. Yeah. Now, Lord Murugan's family consists of the father, that is Lord Shiva, and then his mother, that is Parvati. Yeah. Parvati is the mother of Lord Murugan, and then his elder brother, that is the Lord Ganesha. So usually people recognize Lord Ganesha through his elephant head. So that's why we call him as the elephant head, a god, or Ganesha actually, right? That is the family of Murugan. So story goes that one day there's this wise man who gave a mango fruit to Shiva, and this wise man told Shiva, whoever consumes this fruit will become a very wise, because this is known as the wisdom fruit, with one terms and condition, that is, this fruit must be eaten wholly. It cannot be eaten halved. Now, Shiva has this problem. He was thinking he has two children, namely Murugan and Ganesha. Now, of course, the wise man has mentioned he cannot give half of the fruit to each of them. So how can he decide which the fruit to give to which of his son? So finally, he has come to a decision where he will organize a race to see who can bring to him what is the most precious item from the earth by rounding the earth 7 times. So Shiva requested his children to be in front of him and told the children to find for the most valuable items in the earth. Now, Murugan, without thinking much, boom, shoot. Straight away, he flew to the earth. Yeah. Reason is because Murugan's vehicle is actually a peacock. Yeah, a peacock. So it's very easily, he flew away and around the earth 7 times and come back. Now, meanwhile, his brother, his elderly brother, Ganesha is having problem. Reason is because Ganesha's vehicle is actually a rat, a mouse. Of course, a mouse can't run as fast as, or basically flew as fast as peacock. So Ganesha was actually hiding in the room and keep on thinking, how can he beat his younger brother? And upon sitting down and think, finally, he has a good thought. So after having this thought, he requested his parents to stand right in front of him, and then he walked circling his parents 7 times. And after circling his parents 7 times, he knelt down and told his parents, "You are my world, and you are my world's most precious, most valuable item." So upon hearing this, of course, Shiva felt, oh, Ganesha is so clever. And that's the reason why he decided to give this wisdom fruit to Ganesha. When Shiva gave this wisdom fruit to Ganesha, that's the reason, at the same time, Murugan came back. And upon seeing this, Murugan got very angry, and he felt that his parents is being very not fair, very unfair. So that's the reason why, upon angry, Murugan flew to hilltop to hide himself and hide in the cave. So that's the reason why usually Murugan's temples are found on a hilltop or in the caves. So like in Malaysia, that's the reason why, like in Penang or in Ipoh, even in Genting Highlands at the middle part, that is at Gotong Jaya, you find this Murugan's temple. Usually, how do we recognize the Murugan's temple? In front of Murugan's temple, there is this spear. So once you see this spear, that is basically, that is the Murugan's temple. Now, since the wisdom fruit is being given to Ganesha, that's the reason why Ganesha is also known as the wisdom god. So this is basically the story of the wisdom fruit. Now, I'd like to share with you one very important festival which is being basically celebrated by the Hindus in Malaysia annually, right? This is definitely one of the most spectacular festival in Malaysia, and if possible, I will definitely encourage you to visit Malaysia if you have the time during this period of time, right? So basically, this is the bell or the spear which is found at Murugan's statue, and that is the spear which is being used by Murugan to kill Surapatman. Now, actually, this veil was given by Parvati to Murugan, his mother, to kill this monster Surapatman. So basically, Thaipusam is about the celebration against evil. So that's how and why basically the Hindus celebrated the Thaipusam celebration. So basically, every year the Hindus will celebrate this Thaipusam in the month of Thai according to the Tamil calendar. And usually it falls in the month of January or February, or you can say that rather accurate, usually it is 2 weeks before Chinese New Year, right? So if you coincidentally or basically haven't been to Malaysia and you plan to see about this festival, of course, that is the time where I will encourage you to come to Malaysia, to visit yourself, to see for yourself the celebration of Thaipusam, which is a very, very wonderful and mystical festival in Malaysia, right? So usually when these devotees wanted to celebrate this festival, that is Thaipusam, this is actually, you can say that Thaipusam is a celebration or to return the vow to Lord Murugan, Yeah. So usually if the Hindus, they have made vows during their prayers, what are the vows? Vows are usually things like, for example, where the devotees are requesting from uh, Lord Murugan for good business, for example, or for a better career, yeah, or maybe, yeah, for those single people, they haven't found their life partner, they are looking for life partner. Other than life partner, could be the couples are still without children, they are looking for children, yeah, or maybe if those who are having some health problems, yeah, they could be requesting for good health. So if yeah, they are not so successful in any projects or anything, they request for success. Yeah, all these are basically various kind of vows that they appeal to Lord Murugan to fulfill their vow. So if let's say they have achieved their vows, they should return the vows to Lord Murugan on this particular day known as the Thaipusam. So in order for the devotees to return the vows on this particular day, Thaipusam, firstly, they have to go through very, very strict fasting. And this fasting will require them to go through 30 or 48 days of fasting before Thaipusam. Very strict, yeah. Now, how strict is strict? Now I'm going to share with you, yeah, the fasting methods. Firstly, they have to be vegetarian. Of course, meaning to say, yeah, they can't eat any meat at all. Besides this, of course, they have to abstain from sex, totally abstain from sex. That's the reason why couples usually cannot sleep together at all during this period of time. Now, thirdly is that they are mentally, yeah, they can't even think of any evil thinking, things like, for example, cheating people or even thinking bad or harming people, that kind of thing. No evil thinking at all. And lastly, of course, during their free time, they have to do a lot of prayers. Now, how strict is strict? I'm going to share with you now. Things like, for example, even that they are sleeping, they have to sleep on the floor. Yeah. Now, other than sleeping on the floor, whatever items being used for their personal use, they can't have anything related or made from animals at all. Things like, for example, their clothing or even the soap that they use totally are made from pure from vegetable. So that's the reason why even sleep also they have to sleep on the floor. This is how strict that they have to go through. Now, after going through this very strict process of diet or fasting, basically 30 to 48 days, then a day before the Thaipusam. So usually there will be a procession going on from the Mahariaman temple. Now, as mentioned earlier on, Mahariaman temple, which was also founded by Mr. Thaipusam Pillai, right? It's actually Sri Mahariaman temple is actually located right in the city center, which is also adjacent to the Chinatown in Kuala Lumpur, right? So basically the procession is about 13 kilometers away from Batu Caves, yeah, and it starts right in the middle of the night, okay, 12 o'clock. Can you imagine, yeah, throughout the journey, yeah, of about 13 kilometers, yeah, and it took 12 hours from midnight, started the journey, and then reached Batu Caves. It's already the next day noon. And this procession is actually to send the Lord Murugan from the Sri Mahariaman temple to Batu Caves, right? So while the journey is going on, all the devotees usually will smash lots and lots of coconuts onto the road or the floor. Yeah. Now, these devotees usually is also a method of returning their vow to Lord Murugan. And why smashing of coconuts? Of course, coconut is being hard, sort of like evil. That is to break the pride of oneself. And of course, upon breaking it, the flesh of the coconut is white in color, yeah, which stands for purity. And furthermore, it is believed that the water of coconut will cleanse the road for Lord Murugan to pass by. Can you imagine, even in Penang, you can see as in the picture over here, the Chinese in Penang, yeah, they even pray to Lord Murugan, and usually, yeah, as what I found, for example, they made a vow. If their vows are fulfilled, okay, this year I'm going to smash 200 coconuts. And then if let's say next year I receive another vow, I'll add more, 250 or 300 coconuts. These are the methods on how these Chinese worshippers or devotees returning the vow to Lord Murugan. Yeah. So usually this procession from Kuala Lumpur, Sri Mariamman, right up to the Batu Cave. Firstly, yeah, this is where a lot of people usually misunderstood. They thought that the whole procession will go directly to the cave. No, not actually. Yeah, usually the procession, they will go right up to the Sungai Batu, that is the Batu River. Yeah, so why the Batu River? Yeah, because Batu River acts just like the most mystical river or the most cleansed river in India. Yeah, that is the Ganges River. So usually they will start off the real start off prayer at this Sungai Batu. It acts like the Ganges River in India. Also on the left hand side, as you can see in the picture, there is this Sami. Sami is the monk of the Hindus. Yeah, actually who started to do reading verses or basically praying. He's holding the bell. That is the spear. That is how the start of the prayer. So usually for those devotees, they have to sort of like clean themselves, they bath themselves at the river. Now, due to the pollution nowadays, of course, my understanding is that they no longer bath there. It's just they take a bath just at the nearby river. Then the Sami, the monk, will start to do the prayer. So each one of them will queue up, and then when this Sami started to do the verses, he will apply, yeah, sort of like a white color powder onto the forehead. Yeah. Now, when this Sami applied this, yeah, we call it in Indian they call it the portu, the dot over here, yeah, onto the forehead, and this person will suddenly, yeah, just in a very mystical acts in a very mystical way where, yeah, he totally started to jump around, yeah, whereby these people will start to let him carry the KAVADI. So the KAVADI is basically is kind of like a rack where they will put it onto his this devotee's body. Later on, I will share to you the various types of the devotees KAVADI, various shapes, various style, yeah, of these KAVADI, how they return their vow to Lord Murugan. You'll be amazed by how the devotees, the methods that these devotees return to the Lord Murugan. So they will carry this KAVADI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see on the left-hand side, the picture, those with the peacock feather, with those pictures of the deities. That is basically those people are carrying the KAVADIs from the Sungai Batu right up to the temple cave, yeah, by climbing the staircase right up to the temple cave in Batu Caves area. So while doing so, of course, there'll be loud music, trumpet with the drums, and these devotees will also dance, and of course, they will also keep on chanting Vel, Vel, Vetri, Vel. Yeah, Vel, Vel, Vetri, Vel, basically, yeah, they are actually, sort of like reading the verses, yeah, saying it's victorious against the evil, meaning to say Vel is actually the spear. Yeah? The spear is known as the Indian. Yeah. Now and then over here, as mentioned, I will share with you the various types of KAVADI being carried by the devotees. So you basically over here you will see those devotees, they use various methods. Like for example, some of them will use a spear to poke into their cheek over here and goes through the mouth here. Some of them will even poke through the tongue, or they might be poking whole body. Yeah, like for example, this man over here is carrying the KAVADI, and those needles are actually poking through his body as well. Yeah, all various types of KAVADI that they are carrying. So over here you'll see the various shapes or KAVADI that they are actually carrying. So this man over here, you can see that besides the spear at his cheek, and behind he's actually dragging or pulling a cart probably. Yeah? And then over here is another one whereby you can see, yeah, all the needles are poking through this man's body. Now, the wonder questions come in over here. A lot of people will ask me, now these people, when they poke the needles or the spears into the body, does some blood oozes out, flows out, or these devotees are in pain? Yeah. Now, of course, I can share with you that these devotees, they won't feel any pain at all. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they are basically already enchanted. Yeah, so they won't feel pain. Yeah, the reason is because that these devotees believe that after going through their strict diet and fasting, yeah, so basically that's the reason why they are being protected already. So that's the reason why they won't feel any pain. And it is believed if they didn't go through the strict fasting properly, yeah, so probably there'll be blood oozes out and these devotees might feel pain. So that's the reason why these people, when they want to go through this Thaipusam, they have to go through this very, very strict fasting period. So imagine that this piercing of the body, various methods, yeah, they don't even feel pain. Yeah. And I can share with you another wonderful part of it is whereby, yeah, after going through the whole process, when they reach the temple, when they reach to the temple, they pull out these spears, or they loosen out the whole whatever needles, yeah, and they apply this powder form, yeah. Can you just imagine these devotees don't even have the scar at all? Yeah, so this is definitely one of the world wonders of miracles. And just like in this picture over here, can you imagine that this guy is actually wearing the shoes and he is actually stepping on the nails? Yeah, the nails is actually at the shoes there. So isn't it very wonderful? And like, for example, this guy carrying tiny pots of milk, and these milk pots actually, yeah, pierce onto or hang onto the body, just like this man is all the lemons, yeah, various needles going on, yeah. So various shapes, like this guy, you can see very clearly where he poked through his tongue, right? Now, various kinds, as I mentioned, yeah, that they want to return the vows to the Lord Murugan. Now, female, what about female? Do they, how do they return their vows? Of course, the female, they return their vows won't be like the males. They are rather not so serious, usually just simple ones, just like this lady poking through the mouth. That is already the most, and a big majority of the females will be just carrying pot of milk by returning the vow fulfilled, right? So basically, these are the KAVADIs, or the celebration of Thaipusam. So ladies and gentlemen, when you go to Batu Caves, please remember that is the place for you to understand the Indian culture. So this is the place where, yeah, I will also recommend you, yeah, to try some Indian food. The most item food that you must try or you should try basically is the roti canai or the roti prata. That is basically sort of like crab, yeah. And you can try the Indian curry, yeah, when you are eating the crab. And then of course the most famous drink is the teh tarik, the Indian pool tea. It's because when the Indian made this tea, yeah, they will definitely pour the tea by pulling the tea so that there'll be foam, excuse me, there'll be foam on top of the surface of the beverage. So when you drink, the aroma of the tea will be fantastic, right? So besides the food item, of course, not forgetting the souvenir as well, okay? You might want to buy some items for your friends or relatives. One of the famous item over here, highly recommended, is the mala hair oil. Of course, a lot of people are being curious on why the Indians are so popular. That is, their hair are very dark, you know, a lot of hair. Their main secret is actually they are using the hair oil. Of course, the most popular one is being the brand Mala, all right? Then the second item, highly recommended for you to purchase, is the beef powder by the brand name of Rajan. It's because the Indian, how come their teeth so white? This is actually their secret, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, Thaipusam is definitely one of the world's most mystical festival. That's the reason why, if you do plan to come to Malaysia, yeah, plan as such to visit around January or February. Like for example, next year, it will fall probably in the mid of January, because on the 1st of February will be the Chinese New Year. And of course, the Batu Caves is definitely one of the most colorful place in Malaysia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, of course, if you have any inquiries, if you have friends or relatives who wanted to come to Malaysia, if you have any inquiries about Malaysia, yeah, please do write to me, or you can always WhatsApp to me through my handphone number. Besides this, of course, yeah, I will hope that you will like this video, and I find this video being informative. And of course, yeah, please do subscribe to my channel, that is the Virtual Venture Vacation, so that you'll be notified whenever any new posting which I have posted. And of course, please share this video with your friends if possible. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. See you again. Bye bye.